Well, this is the most exciting time of year for me as a gardener. I always see the garden as my palette and the plants as my paint. So the more seedlings I get on the go, the more baby plants I can produce, the more bountiful and fruitful my growing season is going to be. To start off, we're going to grow plants that need protection in a greenhouse, or if you haven't got the room, a small propagator. And I'm going to grow organic seeds of lettuce and courgette. The most important decision you're going to make when seed sowing is the compost you use. Now, don't be tempted, go down the DIY store and get those 3 bags for a tenner. It's not going to work, you won't get results. You can make your own compost and you can mix it with some gravel or grit like this. The most important thing is it's low on nutrient because the seed has already got its own nutrient. If you want to buy compost, buy organic compost, which is peat-free. So, to sow a tray of seed, I've got my lettuce here. I've got a loam-based compost that's got gravel run through it so it drains nice. And I've got my seed tray. I've got, very importantly, my sieve. It's an important factor, and also what I call a tamper. And I'm going to throw my loam compost into the seed tray to start with. You can see the gravel in it. It's going to drain very freely. It's low in nutrient because the seedlings are already going to have their own nutrients. I put this in like this, and now what I want is a nice fine finish. So I level it off. I take my sieve, and I'm just going to go over the top of it. And the reason I'm doing that is I want a lovely fine crumbly surface for that seed to germinate. We want an even germination. So I'll get like that, I'll give it a tap, take my tamper. I'm going to take out all the air pockets. Just go over it like so. So I take my seed, open the packet. It's very important, if you're sowing outdoors, that you cup your hand. I always cup into the left hand like so. That means if it's windy, it's not going to blow away. It might not be a problem in the greenhouse, but I'm going to start off in this corner. I call this snake in the seed. So I'm going to start off in this corner. I'm going to come up, down here, and across. So I'm going like this, so hence I call it snake in the seed. And the reason I'm doing that is that means I'll get even distribution throughout the seed tray, and they won't all be bunched in the corner. If I get to here and I've still got a little bit of seed left, I'll come the other way, okay? And finish off. Just going to tap those in. So I've got nice lettuce seed distributed throughout the seed tray, so when they germinate they'll be nice and even. Now, same again, I want a nice crumbly surface for my seeds to germinate on, so I'll go over the top, touch more, clean that off like that, take my tamper, take out all the air pocket, nice flat surface. Means all my seeds are in contact with the soil, which means I'm going to get even germination throughout the tray. I'd have a last little job before I finish that. Always label, always keep records, otherwise you won't know what's going on by the time May comes. Okay, there's my lettuce, all sown, ready to go. They'll go into the greenhouse, and now I'm just going to do some courgette. Now, courgette are a much bigger seed, so they get the luxury of their own compartments here, so into these individual cells. So I'm just going to fill my cells up with my compost. Just screw that off. Again, I'll probably give it a little firm. It's not too bad. Courgettes, you'll see what I mean. Now, these are big plants, and obviously they've got big seed. The reason we can do them in cells like this is because when they get growing, they'll turn into quite big plants quite quickly. You can see there the seed quite large, and that means I can just pop them out the cell and they can go into a bigger pot or out into the ground. But I always put a couple in for 2 reasons. One, in case one fails, also it introduces a little bit of competition. I cover them over. I would again maybe use my sieve just to go over the top to cover them over. Nice fine finish like that, and of course never forget to label up. Now to the important job of watering. Now, a lot of people like to water in advance so the soil's already moist. I like to work dry and clean, so I water at the end. Either way, what you've got to do is make sure you get even water throughout the container. So I've got my rose here, and that's on upside down, and if I water from the side, I've got a nice thin spray. I can go over like that, quick water like so. Now, if you're worried about watering, you just need moisture on it. Now and again, just dip your finger in, see if the soil sticks to your finger, you know there's moisture in it. If it doesn't, it's dry, but always check. I'm now going to take those off to the greenhouse because I'll need the warmth to get them germinated. And that's seed sowing for you. Nice and simple. Happy gardening.